everyone, and welcome to Friday Football Fever. I am Ryan Bailey. We've got a jam-packed Week 2 edition for you. United making their home debut in 2021. Martin heading south to Zapata. Alexander going to Flower Bluff in our first Player of the Week honors. But first, we start with our All-Laredo showdown over at Shirley Field and easily our game of the night. The Toros and Mustangs meeting up. Nixon having won 5 in a row in the rivalry. Nixon coming off a nice win also over Martin last Friday, while the Toros showed some fight in the second half against Zapata. Remember that, because late in the second quarter, the Nixon defense dominating. J.J. Ortiz knifing between the blockers for the tackle and the loss. The green and gold, though, holding a 2-score lead. Well, next, Nixon possession. The Toros showing some pop on the defensive side of the ball. Marco Madrigal, the stick. That's a loss of yards. Segura would end up forcing a turnover on downs. Just before the half, Nixon marching to the end zone. The ball popped up, free in the air. The scramble is on. A little confusion here. Finally, the refs going to come together. They're going to say the Toros had the ball and were down that Figueroa possession. The Toros trying to make it pay off, but staring down a third down. They go to the outside, the jet sweep, but Sebastian Moreno not fooled at all. He strings a play out, making the tackle. We go to the halftime break, 14-0. Well, the opening drive of the second half, Figueroa on the move. Jacob Lozano keeping the play alive, looking downfield to his tight end, Alejandro Malcara. He's going to pick up a big gain. The Toros end up scoring on the drive to cut the lead in half. This one turns into a barn burner, and it's the Toros getting a 70-yard run from Lozano with 3 minutes to go, and then a 2-point conversion. They win this one 22-21, snapping a 5-game losing streak in the series and a 13-game losing streak overall. Over to the SAC United, coming off a brutal loss last week, opened up their home slate against San Antonio Harlan. The Longhorns looking to make a go without Sammy Castro after he was hurt last week. The opening drive for the Hawks United defense put to the test right away inside the 5-yard line with a third down. Mondo Gomez and Isaac Mendoza there with the stick. The Longhorns forced a turnover on downs. On the next drive, United getting a little offense going, and then a disaster. The fumble scooped up by Harlan. They're going the other way. They'd return it back down inside the 5-yard line. Not much the United defense can do here. On the second play of the drive, Harlan punching it in for 6. The Hawks going to get on the board first. On the ensuing drive, the guys in orange, they're starting to get the offense going a little bit. Frank Soto bouncing to the outside. This is going to be enough for a first down, picking up a nice chunk of yards. A couple snaps later, the Longhorns looking to the air now, trying to soften up that defense. Armani Science connecting with Luz Leal the third. A huge gain, dropping that one in nicely inside the 10-yard line. The drive would stall out. That brings on Alexis Lopez for the field goal. He's going to knock it through with ease, makes it a 7-3 game. This one gets good late as well. Another 1-point game, but it's the road team coming out on top. San Antonio Harlan, the 34-33 final. They hand United their second loss to start the season. Well, after the break, we're far from done with the highlights. We're going to head down to Zapata for the Tigers and Hawks, plus East for the Bulldogs and Hornets, along with a rivalry showdown in Hebbronville. That's coming up when we return. We're back with more Fevers. The guys at Martin hope to pick up their first win of the season, heading down south to Zapata. The Hawks, on the other hand, riding high after a win over Figueroa to open up the season, looking to make it 2-0 against Laredo teams. Both these teams looking for a victory in non-district play. Pick it up in the first quarter. Zapata on the move. Landon Martinez just waiting for the play to develop. Going to finally find Josh Alvarez on the screen play. He's going to shake and bake just inside the 5-yard line. Can't quite get in, but it doesn't matter, because the next snap, the Hawks not going to mess around. Martinez on the sneak. He's just barely in for the first score of the game. Zapata taking a 7-0 lead. Later in the first, Zapata marching down the field, trying to finish off another drive. Alvarez in the backfield this time. He's going to go into the pile, and they just push it forward. Zapata in for the score, make it 14-0 home team. Into the second quarter, Martin starting to get a little something cooking on offense. Verano Champ looking to pick his way through the defense. He's going to find some running room. Nice big chunky yards here. First down. They'd end up scoring on the drive. This will be a 21-14 game at the half for Zapata, and it gets ugly for Martin from there. 49-14 the final down there. Zapata moves to 2-0. Martin now 0-2. Let's head east over to Flower Bluff. The Alexander Bulldogs coming out looking for its first win against a tough Corpus Christi Flower Bluff team. They were regional finalists just 1 year ago. The Bulldogs going to open it up in their first drive. They're going to come up with the first down, but on his way to the ground, this one's going to be stripped. Whoop! The ball coming out. Fumbling, putting it on the ground is Gael Rodriguez there. The Hornets, they're going to end up taking advantage of this one. Wyatt Elwood, he's going to go for the big gain. This one, a long first down. Big chunk of yards into the Bulldog territory. Then later in the drive, JoJo Martinez, he's going to come up with the score. This is going to make it 7-0 to Flower Bluff. It's a C's part for him. He's in. Later in the half, Javi Jimenez, the Bulldogs QB, he's going to end up trying to pick up some yards. He's going to get a first down on the play, but the drive would end up stalling out. Flower Bluff going to end up adding to their lead. You can see here Jimenez trying to pick his way through. Nice big yards there, but that drive stalls out. Alexander can't get it going. Instead, Flower Bluff going to take advantage as they do all night long, punching this one in. 35-0 your final over Corpus Christi. The Bulldogs handed a tough shutout loss. Finish off our highlights over in Hebbronville. The Longhorns get in the field for the first time this season, hosting their rivals from Freer. First quarter, no score, but that's going to change. Hebbronville, a little misdirection, even faking out our camera guys. Eden Perez off to the races. No one touches him, making 7-0 Longhorns. After a dominating performance last week, just nothing going right for Freer, at least early on in this one. The ball is going to be dropped. Giovanni Marquez right there to pounce on it for Hebbronville. A whole lot of fumbles tonight. Not sure what was going on out there on the high school fields. Into the second quarter, the Longhorns continue with the ground and pound. Nate Garza can't find anyone downfield, so the junior, he decides to tuck it and run himself. Slicing through that Buckaroo defense. No one going to stop him. He's in for 6 more, make it 14-0. At last check, they're still playing over there 26-14 right now. The scores. Hebbronville continues to hold the lead on their rivals from Freer. Checking out a couple more scores. United South, they go north up to San Antonio and pick up a big 28-0 win as they shut down and shut out the Bobcats of South San. A nice win there for the Panthers. They improved to 1-1 on the season. And how about Bruni? After taking on the chin from Refugio, which a lot of teams do, pretty much everybody in South Texas struggles against Refugio. They come back and top Runge 45-12. The same Yellow Jacket team that the Badgers beat in the first round of the playoffs last year. They hand them another loss this year. We're not done just quite yet here on Friday Football Fever. When we get back, time to hand out some hardware. Our first Player of the Week honor. So we head over to Nixon and hear from the Mustangs. That's next. It's that time of the week where we get to hand out our Player of the Week award. And this Friday night sees the honor go to a Nixon Mustang that was a wrecking ball on defense last weekend. Antonio Calderon was all over the field last Friday night, recording 11 total tackles, 7 of those being the solo variety. Not only that, but Calderon got after the quarterback as well with a pair of sacks. He also helped out on the offensive side of the ball. Calderon honored to have this award, but knows his team's work is far from done. While his coach values the leadership the young man shows.
Antonio's not one that brags or puts on a show. He works hard. He stays quiet, but he leads by example, and the others respect him and they follow him.
Feels great. It shows that hard work pays off. In film, we still need a little little mistakes that we need to fix, but we'll get there. We'll be perfect. Just got to be perfect.
Oh, congrats to Calderon and the rest of the Mustangs on this award. Be sure to tune in every Friday night to see who the best of the best was from the previous week. Well, our week of high school football got started last night as LBJ looked to pick up their first win of the season. Things got off to a great start as Wolves forced a turnover on their first defensive drive of the game. And then on the ensuing drive, it was Rene Ramos with a 34-yard scamper into the end zone. It looked like LBJ might pick up the victory over Rio Grande City. From there, though, the first half mostly controlled by the Rattlers as they rattled off 21 straight points to take the lead into the half. Coming out of the locker rooms, both teams would find the end zone 2 more times, but that left the home team on the wrong end of a 34-20 final. Ramos would finish with 129 yards on only 22 carries, good for almost 6 yards a scamper. Now the Wolves going to have to wait until Thursday when they go to Shirley Field to face the Toros and try to pick up that first win of the season. And not going to be easy. Cigarroa riding high after a victory tonight over Nixon. A pair of 1-point games for us this evening. Cigarroa winning by 1 over Nixon. United falling by 1 to San Antonio Harlan. So the United Longhorns now 0-2 on the season, but in non-district played a couple of good teams. Cigarroa evens up their record at 1-1. Nixon 1-1 as well. Alexander, they go over to Flower Bluff. They get shut out while United South goes north. They pick up a nice 28-0 win. Again, just kind of running through the scores. Martin, they struggled down in Zapata. Well, that's going to do it for us here. We'll see you back here next week with more Friday Football Fever. Have a great weekend, everybody.